Quick thing I want to put at the beginning of the video, obviously this has spoilers to Spider-Man 2. If you didn't know this, well, you do now. So if you don't want to be spoiled about Spider-Man 2, get out. Marvel Spider-Man 2 is a game that features a lot of characters, like we've got our protagonists, Peter and Miles, their supporting cast, MJ, Rio, Ganke, Haley. But with a game with such a stacked cast of characters and a lot going on with said game, how do you tie it all together and make it all coherent and cohesive? They needed a character to wove all these separate plot lines together, and they picked no one better than Kraven the Hunter. Now, Kraven is one of the most infamous characters in all of Spider-Man's rogues gallery, but before this game's release, he's not really had a real mainstream appearance. Like, yeah, if I asked any random dude on the street, do you know who Kraven is? They probably will know, but you can't really say he's had that main villain appearance yet. You know, like, Green Goblin had the first Spider-Man film, Otto Octavius has had Spider-Man 2, the PS4 game. You know, they've had their, like, big moments. So this makes the game, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Kraven's first main villain debut. Well, except that Sony Kraven film would have been his debut, but I'm happy that's been delayed. They're gonna do my boy dirty. But how was the execution of Kraven in this game? Well,
I expected you sooner. Where is the energy of youth, huh?
I'm in love with this man. You know, actually, I was gonna make a video on Valentine's Day about Venom 2 being the best rom-com ever, but because I'm just so lazy and I procrastinate a lot, that's obviously not gonna happen. So, this video will be my Valentine's Day special and how much I love this beautifully bearded man. Mwah. I think the first good thing they pull off with Kraven is honestly how impactful he ends up being to the entire game. Like, if you really think about it, a lot, if not all the events of Marvel Spider-Man 2 would not happen if it wasn't for Kraven's interference. Like, take for example the first mission where Peter and Miles have to take down Sandman in Manhattan. The reason Marco turned into Sandman isn't just because he's a villain and he does bad things, but it's because it was forced out of him via Kraven. I mean, if you don't even take my word for it, the game says it. Peter literally says he hasn't fought Sandman in years.
So, what's up with Marco? It's been years since our last showdown.
But because he did that, he just accidentally made Peter lose his job at Brooklyn Visions. He nearly loses May's house. Then only a little bit later, he just casually breaks out a ton of villains out of the raft, including Lee, which sets up Miles' arc for the game. The game just does an incredible job with Kraven's presence. Even if he's not on screen, you know he's done something. Now, it's no secret that this game attempts to adapt Kraven's most famous story of all time, being Kraven's Last Hunt, which in that story is the culmination of Spider-Man and Kraven's rivalry. But Insomniac doesn't have that luxury since this is the first time Peter's meeting Kraven. So, what did the big brains at Insomniac decide to do? Well, fuck it, let's just give him the big C! The reason Kraven is hunting is due to him being diagnosed with terminal cancer, and as a hunter, he doesn't want the cancer to claim him, so instead he decides to travel to New York to find a worthy opponent, which is, and I quote, worthy of him. This just makes Kraven the coolest villain the Spider-Man have had to face, because there's no bargaining with Kraven. If he dies, he wins, and in turn allows the Last Hunt story to not feel forced or rushed. It just kind of feels natural. Like I said before, with a lack of bargaining, this man just seemingly doesn't give a single fuck about anybody he's hurting to get what he wants. Like I said before, Sandman had quit being a villain years ago for the sake of his daughter, and is probably content leaving that Sandman persona behind him. But Kraven, on the other hand, has no sympathy. Like he said to MJ,
"There are no good men. Only good prey."
Hell, take another one. Kurt Connors, the Lizard, a man who lost his family and hasn't been the Lizard for years. But because Kraven found little worth in the Sinister Six, he just injects Connors with a recreated Lizard serum, like it's nothing. Hell, this ties back into Peter's story since his first fight with Kraven, well...
MJ!
If it weren't for Harry or the symbiote, Peter would have just straight up died here, and that would have been the end of it. So when Peter is donning the black suit and saying lines like,
I need this suit. It makes me a better Spider-Man.
It's because he feels weak without the power of the suit because he nearly died by the hands of Kraven in their first bout. Now, something I love about Kraven is his beliefs and the kind of motto being that
Anything can be broken
Basically, with enough pressure lost, Kraven believes it'll break someone and let the beast inside them loose. This obviously ties into the black suit story very well, as it's Peter giving into the power of the symbiote and Peter losing himself, with Kraven being the pushing force to give into the symbiote's temptation. Obviously accumulating with their final bout where Kraven gets Peter to lose it after showing him a beat up Miles.
Yes.
But after all this pain and push to get Peter to break him, he forces him into a corner where if he doesn't kill Kraven, Kraven will kill him.
Kill or be killed.
Obviously, Peter doesn't actually kill him, being interrupted by lame boy Morales, snapping him out of it and totally losing the black suit. Now, I made it very clear that Kraven kind of craves death and doesn't want to go out with his illness, but in battle, and with talks of everyone having a beast inside them, why not put him up to the 19-inch monster that we call Venom? And you know what? This goes exactly how you expected it to go.
You're just a little man.
I have conquered every land and tamed nature's death. Man is beneath me!